Hello, Paul is the best for UK here and welcome to another video. Now a good friend that I've known for a long time bought me this as an early birthday present. My birthday's in September and it's this, the Atari 2600 Tiny Arcade. 9 Atari games including Pac-Man. That's weird, isn't it? Plus a bonus game. Why didn't they just include that as a 10th game? Not quite sure. Just some sort of probably advertising employee or something. It's got the 9 games and the additional Pac-Man where they could have just had 10 games with the Pac-Man. I'm not sure what they've done there. So it's literally a little tiny mini television set that's sort of styled as an 80s television set. So we've got Centipede, Pong, Missile Command, Breakout, Asteroids, Combat, Warlords, Millipede and Tempest all pre-installed on this little tiny system. So this was from Argos. You got some sort of additional information on the bottom of the box, which is unusual to see because normally it's in an instructions pamphlet. Shows you about inserting 3 AA batteries, but they are included. So let's have a look at the inside. I've already cut the seal prior to making the video. Right, okay, so here is the device. Now it looks like a 80s 70s living room with the decor and stuff. You can see it there, brown television. There's the Atari 2600 there. Now one criticism I've got about the product is you can't easily remove it from the packaging. It's all sellotaped together and collectors might want to show this as a display piece, and it's very difficult if not impossible to remove it from this wall decor without ripping the cardboard. Unfortunately I did a right job of mine. I couldn't get it free at all. So here is the unit itself, the television set part of it. So we've got a little pull tab here which will engage the batteries. Yeah, like I said, it's already got batteries built in, so that's pretty good. Little mini tiny iconic Atari joystick. I think this is like one of them RF switch boxes just for show. None of these buttons are real, they're just for show, except for the red center button on the Mini itself, the Atari itself. These dip switches on the sides don't do anything. So yep, so the on and off is on the bottom of the unit, and as you can see, there it is. It's the world's smallest Atari. Tiny Arcade. I think it's an Atari endorsed product. So we've got all them games I mentioned on the box earlier. Millipede. So let's see if I can get a better camera angle at the screen. So let's have a look. As it says on the screen, it doesn't pick up the little tiny LCD well, but this is really tiny. It's smaller than a shot. It's almost as small as a shot glass or something like that. It's very small. It's impressive what that can do. Now one thing I will say about the units that I've noticed, these aren't actually, or most of them aren't actually Atari 2600 games. Some of them are more enhanced than the Atari 2600 versions, like maybe a coin-up machine or something. Let's try and get a better view of the screen so we can see what we're looking at. I do apologise about the picture quality of the screen itself. My camera does not pick up the screen well. So this looks like the original Pac-Man sort of Atari 2600 game, so that's quite faithful to the original version, which I don't think was that loved by that many folk at the time, but it's still playable in its own right. So you press the red button to change game. So let's have a look at Asteroids. So yeah, as you can see, this, yeah, even though it's a really good clone of Asteroids, it's not the Atari 2600 version. It looks more like the maybe the coin-up machine or a later version such as Atari 7800. I'm not quite sure, but sadly on this device they're not actually emulating Atari 2600 games. Maybe it's a NES on a chip like some of the Atari flashback machines was. I'm not quite sure. Let me know in the comments if you know what it's about. But yep, it does an accurate job of sort of like replicating the Atari 2600 library, but just in its own different versions. They're more advanced. Pac-Man's about the same. I'm not too familiar about the game Warlords. I don't even know what you have to do on this game, but you can tell just by that screen that this is not Atari 2600 code. the Atari 2600 wasn't capable of fonts that small, or if it was, very limited. So this is Warlords. I don't even know what you have to do on this game. I'd have to research that a bit more. But it's kind of neat seeing it on such a tiny device. It's more like a bit of nostalgia than anything. I don't think you would use this as a serious gaming machine, because that joystick is so tiny. You just use your finger and your thumb to like sort of move it. Tempests here, and that's definitely not Atari 2600, you can tell. What else we got? We got Pong. So Pong's like the original Atari game. Just one thing I will say as well about the system: you cannot do 2 players on this. I don't think. I can't find anywhere on it to plug a second joystick in. So I don't think 2-player is an option on here. I don't think you'd want to really, would you, with that tiny screen? You'd both be squinting. I had to put my glasses on just to see it. It's that small. It looks quite big on my video, but you won't believe how small it is. It's really tiny bitty. So we got a missile command. Remember that scene in Terminator 2 with the arcade machine? That looks similar to that. What we got? That's definitely not Atari 2600. Might be a later model, but yeah, this is a millipede running on the Atari 2600 Mini. So yeah, the advantages of the system: it's very tiny and you can just plug it in and play. 3 batteries and away you go. I think one of my criticisms with it is just that they're not actually Atari 2600 ROMs, that they are enhanced versions, maybe made for the NES on a chip. I'm not quite sure, but it's still very nice, still very gimmicky and a good system, and I really do appreciate receiving it as an early birthday present. I didn't ask for it, it was just a surprise. This is Combat. Apologise about my camera not being able to pick up the maze on that. There is a maze there, but you can't see it with the screen. And back to Pac-Man. So as a product, I'm going to give this one 7 out of 10, and I really do appreciate getting it as an early birthday gift. It's a good gift idea for anyone who is feeling nostalgic or sort of my age or above, or maybe even lower. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.